Assalamu alaikum, dear student. Yesterday I had taken live online lecture of oral anti-diabetic drugs. For your better understanding and for further study, I upload slide presentation that you can read it from slide. Classification of oral anti-diabetic drug. Oral antibiotic drugs are insulin secretagogues, that is sulfonylureas, meglitidenide, diphenylaline derivatives, nitiglinide. Sulfonylureas, there are some generation, first generation and second generation. First generation is chlorpropamide, tolbutamide, tolazemide. Second generation is glibenclamide, that is glyburide, glipizide, gliclazide, and glimepiride. Biguanides, these are non-insulin secretagogues. Metformin, fenformin. Fenformin, it is toxic drug, highly toxic, not used as a anti-diabetic drug. Mostly use metformin. Among the all oral anti-diabetic drug, metformin is the pioneer drug. It is the drug of choice. Remember this. Thiazolidinediones, rosiglitazone, pioglitazone. Alpha glucosidase inhibitors, acarbose and migretil. Newer anti-diabetic drugs are incretin-based therapy, dipeptidyl dipeptidase 4 inhibitors, and GLP-1 analog. Dipeptidyl peptidase 4 inhibitors are sitagliptin, vildagliptin, linagliptin. GLP-1 analogs or agonist, exenatide. Classification showing this chart. Sites of action of the most widely used drug, oral anti-hyperglycemic agents. Overall view of the oral drug, how they act. At a glance, you see it. Insulin secretagogues, that is sulfonylureas and diphenylaline derivatives, that is non-sulfonylureas. Insulin secretagogues stimulate the pancreas for the release of insulin. Insulin controls the blood sugar, it is lower the blood sugar. Dipeptidase peptidyls inhibitors, they are indirectly insulin secretagogues. They act by blocking the enzyme and incretin acts. Incretin is a hormone which stimulates the pancreas and release of insulin. Dipeptidase peptidase inhibitors and GLP-1, they act by incretin. So they are called the incretinomimetic. Incretinomimetic. Biguanides is the most important drug of oral antidiabetics. the first drug of choice, first line of drug. In the liver, it lowers the release of glucose from the liver by inhibiting the glycogenolysis, inhibit gluconeogenesis, blood glucose utilized by glycolysis by stimulating the insulin hormone. Thereby glucose enters into the cell in presence of insulin. Thiazolidinediones acts on the muscle and adipose tissue. They inhibit the glycogenolysis. Thereby glycogen not converted to glucose. Individual prescription of oral anti-diabetic drugs. Sulfonylureas. It is the first oral anti-diabetic drug that discovered 1942. In 1955, sulfonylureas drugs become widely available for the treatment of type 2 diabetes, that is NIDDM. How sulfonylureas acts? Sulfonylureas acts by blocking the potassium channel and open of the calcium channel, thereby stimulation of the beta cell of the pancreas, release of insulin. Figure showing this closure of potassium channel. Glucose enters into the pancreatic cell, it metabolize, become metabolism, produce ATP, and there closure of the potassium channel and lead to develop depolarization. Depolarization causes opening of the calcium channel, whereby calcium entered into the cell, and calcium stimulate the vesicles of the pancreas where insulin stored, exocytosis, and release insulin. In short, we say sulfonylureas block the potassium channel and open the calcium channel. Resulting effect is insulin release. They inhibit the glucagon release. And we know glucagon increase the blood sugar level. Glucagon action against the action of insulin. All hormones having against the action of insulin. Insulin lowers the blood sugar. All hormones in the body increase the blood sugar. Pharmacokinetics of sulfonylureas. Route of administration oral, oil absorbed, 90%, 99% protein binding, that is, it is highly protein binding. Cross the placental barrier, thereby having teratogenic effect, metabolize in the liver and excreted through urine. Long duration of action, it is about 12 to 24 hours. Adverse effect, hypoglycemia, most common adverse effect, hypoglycemia. Thereby sulfonylureas called hypoglycemic drug. Increase appetite, thereby cause weight gain, hypersensitivity, and teratogenicity. Sulfonylureas Usually we prescribe type 2 diabetes, that is NIDDM, non-obese person. Because if we use sulfonylureas in obese type 2 diabetes, patient gain weight. So sulfonylureas, drug of choice, non-obese type 2 diabetes mellitus. Biguanide, drug of choice, obese type 2 diabetes mellitus. Biguanides, previously we mentioned, it is most common useful drug, is also called first line therapy for type 2 diabetes. Euglycemic drug, not causes hypoglycemia. This is the advantage. Limitation of metformin is GIT upset. Some patient cannot tolerate due to GIT upset. Comparison to metformin with sulfonylureas gastric upset insignificant. Mechanism of action. Metformin has not been precisely defined its mechanism of action. It has no hypoglycemic effect in non-diabetic patient. So we we advise this drug obese non-diabetic patient for reduction of weight. Indication of NIDDM. Obese diabetes 2, not non-obese, because they causes reduction of body weight. IDDM combined with insulin. NIDDM with primary hyperlipidemia, secondary failure with sulfonylurea, combination with most other anti-diabetic drug if there is indicated, and other than diabetes it is used polycystic ovarian syndrome. Metformin causes gastric discomfort previously mentioned, so it given with food to minimize the GIT upset. Initial dose 500 milligram, 12 hourly. Maximum dose 2500 milligram, that is 2.5 gram in divided dose. Drug excreted through kidney. Contraindication: hepatic and renal dysfunction, alcoholic person, and lactic acidosis. Lactic acidosis is a serious adverse effect of metformin. Adverse effect, we mentioned that it is a main problem in the GIT. GIT problems are diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, bloating, flatulence, abdominal cramp, heartburn. No need to mention the percentage, no need. Metallic taste, etc. Serious side effect is lactic acidosis. Here mention the sign symptoms of lactic acidosis. Important question: difference between Sulfonylureas and metformin. It may be asked in oral or in written examination. Sulfonylureas is secretagogue. Metformin is not secretagogue. Metformin is insulin sensitizer. Sulfonylureas acts by stimulating beta cells. 30% beta cell must be intact. Metformin not stimulate the beta cell. It not secretagogue. It acts by increase the sensitivity of insulin, thereby lowers blood sugar. And metformin also acts by other ways, decrease GIT absorption, inhibit glycogenolysis, inhibit gluconeogenesis, increase glycolysis. Sulfonylureas highly protein bound. Metformin is not. Sulfonylureas causes hypoglycemia. This is important point. But metformin is not hypoglycemic. It is euglycemic. Sulfonylureas cause hunger. That is increase appetite. Metformin causes decrease appetite. Sulfonylureas causes weight gain. Metformin causes weight loss, reduction of weight. Sulfonylureas indicated non-obese type 2 diabetes. Metformin indicated obese type 2 diabetes. Metformin causes lactic acidosis. Sulfonylureas not cause. Sulfonylureas GIT upset less. Metformin GIT upset is more. Sometimes patient cannot tolerate due to GIT upset. Another oral anti-diabetic drug is alpha glucosidase inhibitor, acarbose and miglitol. Acarbose and miglitol acts by inhibiting the enzyme alpha glucosidase enzyme. It is the enzyme of the GI tract which metabolize the carbohydrate and absorb into the bloodstream. Alpha glucosidase enzyme when inhibited, metabolism is stopped. No glucose enters into the system, bloodstream. Acarbose also acts by another way, by blocking the alpha amylase pancreatic enzyme which causes metabolism of carbohydrate. Thereby glucose enters into the bloodstream. When alpha amylase is blocked, there is no carbohydrate metabolism and inhibit the absorption of glucose from the GIT. Figure showing the mechanism of action. Intestinal cell, alpha glucosidase enzyme block the action of alpha glucosidase glucose absorption is hampered. Acarbose and miglytol are available and are taken with each meal, administered with meal, because they lowers the postprandial blood glucose. Postprandial blood glucose, that means glucose after taking food. After taking food, thereby rise of glucose in the system. So, to reduce the postprandial glucose, this drug used with meal. Side effects almost same as metformin: GIT upset, flatulence, dyspepsia, anorexia, abdominal bloating, and diarrhea. And there are some condition, then it is not used. Newer oral anti-diabetic drug, incretin based therapy. This drug also called incretin mimetic drug, mimic the action of incretin. In diabetic patient, incretin is a hormone present in the GIT. Incretin not act properly. On the other hand, incretin is destroyed by enzyme. Enzyme is dipeptidyl peptidase 4. This enzyme destroy the incretin. Incretin lowers the blood glucose by stimulating the pancreas and release of insulin. When we take food, glucose enters into the bloodstream, thereby release of incretin stimulate the pancreas for the release of insulin, thereby control blood glucose. When incretin not act by the destruction of dipeptidyl peptidase enzyme, thereby rise of blood sugar. So, incretin mimetic drug we used is the newer drug. Incretin mimetic drugs are sitagliptin, linagliptin, vildagliptin. Another incretin analog is GLP-1, that is exenatide drug. This drug not used orally because it is destroyed by enzyme, peptidyl dipeptidase enzyme. GLP-1 analog drug, it causes gastric, potentiate insulin, and it potentiate insulin secretion. Previously we tell. Previously we discussed it. Name the drugs: linagliptin, vildagliptin, GLP-1 analog, It is receptor mediated action, receptor agonist. It is incretin like action. It is given orally, not it is given orally because it is not given orally because enzyme destroy the GLP-1 analog. So it is given by subcutaneous route other than oral route. GLP-1 receptor agonist, it is exenatide, long-acting insulin analog. It given with insulin. However, they have key advantage that over the dipeptidase peptidyl 4 inhibitors, because the GLP-1 activity achieved is supraphysiological. Advantage is it delays gastric emptying and at the level of the hypothalamus decrease appetite. Thus, injectable GLP-1 analogs lower blood glucose and result in weight loss. As the majority of the patients with type 2 diabetes are obese. Type 2 diabetic patients are usually obese. So, reduction of weight and obese person losses his weight. GLP receptor agonist, that is GLP analog drug, is exenatide, not given in oral route previously mentioned because it is destroyed by dipeptidase enzyme. Given subcutaneously twice daily. Exenatide MR once weekly and liraglutide once daily. GLP-1 analog drugs previously mentioned, this acts like incretin, thereby called analog. Other drugs, dipeptidyl peptidase inhibitors, sitagliptin, linagliptin, vildagliptin, these are also incretin mimetic drug. These drugs given in oral route because dipeptidase enzyme not destroy this, but exenatide is destroyed by this enzyme. So it is given in subcutaneous route. Subcutaneous route advantage is slow and sustained action. Maintain 24 hours control of blood sugar. All the incretin acting drug have been reported to associated with an increased risk of pancreatitis. This is these disadvantages. Unlike sulfonylureas, both incretin-based therapies only promotes to insulin secretion when there is glucose trigger for insulin secretion. Thus, when the blood glucose is normal, the insulin secretion is not augmented, and so this agent do not cause hypoglycemia. Previously we mentioned sulfonylureas is a direct secretagogue. Incretin mimetic drugs is indirectly insulin secretagogues. In presence of high blood sugar, incretin triggers the pancreas to release insulin. When blood sugar is normal, no triggering of pancreas, thereby no secretion of insulin, thereby cause no hypoglycemia. But sulfonylureas causes hypoglycemia because their main action is to stimulating the beta cell by blocking the potassium channel by releasing of insulin, either euglycemic or hyperglycemic. If patient euglycemic condition, but if sulfonylureas act, resulting effect is hypoglycemia. Thereby, this is the limitation of sulfonylureas. Another latest drug recently available, the sodium and glucose transporter 2 SGLT2 inhibitors, dapagliflozin, licensed for marketing 2012. Glucose is filtered freely in the renal glomeruli and reabsorbed in the proximal tubules. That is SGLT2. This drug reabsorb filtered insulin from the tubules, renal tubules, mainly proximal convoluted tubules. Normally, glomerular filtration, glucose goes into the tubules and they are reabsorbed. But these drugs prevent the reabsorption. So, glucose passes through urine. SGLT2 acts on the proximal tubule, thereby prevention of glucose reabsorption. Inhibition results in approximately 25% of the filtered glucose not being reabsorbed, with consequent glycosuria. Although this helps to lower blood glucose and results in caloric loss and subsequent weight loss, the glycosuria does result in increased urinary tract infection and also genital tract fungal and bacterial infection. High sugar in the urine invites infection. Last of all, message for you about oral anti-diabetic drug. General recommendation is metformin for all type 2 diabetes mellitus unless there is contraindication. When a patient first diagnosed as a diabetic, you should treat with metformin. Lifestyle management is a fundamental aspect of diabetes care. Lifestyle management, that means increase physical activities, diet, balanced diet, carbohydrate restriction, monitoring the glycemic condition. That is, glycemic target should be individualized. Selection of other drugs, that is metformin combined with other drugs. First line is drug is metformin. When you choose other drug, we may call second line drug, should be based on the patient specific consideration according to patient need. Take important questions message for examination. Must know for examination. Define diabetes mellitus. Classify diabetes mellitus. Classify anti-diabetic drugs. These are the first know. Must know this. For pass the examination, these things should be must know. In examination, short notes. Oral antibiotic drug short notes is alpha glucosidase inhibitors, proinsulin, C-peptide. Nice to know to get honors mark or high score. You should read normal level of blood sugar both in fasting and 2 hours after meals. When you call patient is diabetic or non-diabetic, what is pre-diabetes, what is IGF, what is IGT, what is MODI, what is DGM, what is diabetes in pregnancy, what is pregnancy with diabetes, difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes mellitus, insulin structure, mechanism of action of insulin, insulin receptor mediated action, how insulin control blood sugar, regulation of insulin, fate of insulin, difference source of insulin, recombinant DNA technology, human insulin, newer oral antidiabetic drugs in detail, latest oral antidiabetic drugs and how they act. Insulin, fate, GIT, by GIT because it is a protein, so it not given in oral route. Remember this. Randomly ask this question: why insulin not given in oral route? Because insulin is a polypeptide protein, so it is destroyed or metabolized by proteolytic enzyme, so it not given in oral route. Insulin commonly given in subcutaneous route. Insulin commonly given in subcutaneous route because subcutaneous route maintain slow and sustained action. Why not IV route? IV route is an emergency route. If we give IV route, there is sudden loss of the blood glucose and action is very short. Onset of action is very rapid, thereby suddenly develop hypoglycemia. There may be hypoglycemic shock. IV route we choose when there is hyperglycemic shock. In special situation, we give IV insulin. Insulin Lispro, ultra short acting insulin. These are the overall anti-diabetic drug. Thank you all and Allah Hafiz.